Ladies and gentlemen, I do not want this to take place, but I have been telling people for months now that Bitcoin is going to crash, the stock market is going to crash. I focused on the stock market. I said the Dow, the Nasdaq, the S&P was going to tank. I wrote about this in the Federalist. And lately, past couple of months, I've been doing segments on Bitcoin. Now, my belief or my prediction that Bitcoin will reach 10,000 has really nothing much to do with cryptocurrency or the philosophy behind Bitcoin. I actually respect people who invest in Bitcoin. I don't want anyone to lose money. This isn't a situation where I'm going to say, oh, I told you so in a gleeful manner. I might say to people, hey, I predicted this and it's taking place, but that's not out of malice. That's just, hey, you're watching this channel, so you want to watch something that's intriguing and somebody who's, intelligent and knows what he's talking about. So, unfortunately, I've known this was going to take place. This is going to be a catastrophe for the stock market, for the economy, and I explain in the Federalist, read the article below, Democratic Party policies, the policies of our president, and the wonderful experts and authorities and the people who were revered, let's say, by media, plunged this country into economic turmoil and a stock market crash that we're seeing right now. This is the beginning of a stock market crash. Now, I want to show you really quickly, before we get to Jeremy Grantham, who predicts a 50% drop in the S&P. Okay, so legendary investor Jeremy Grantham, or I can just go ahead right here. Legendary investor Jeremy Grantham, stock super bubble will pop. S&P 500 will plunge 45%. Some articles say 50%, according to Jeremy Grantham. Pre-market trading today, this would be the fifth or the sixth day that the market tanks, and Dow is down 73, S&P, these are the Dow futures, Nasdaq futures. Nasdaq's taking a hit, obviously, because when you have rampant inflation and you've pumped $10 trillion into the economy to replicate a functioning economy, you're going to have anything overvalued, especially tech stocks or tech companies. We just saw what happened to Netflix. But Tesla's overvalued. Not just overvalued. This is a bubble. This is a self-induced wound because we ended economic activity 2 years ago. And the people who pushed for that, in large part, wanted to kick Trump out of office. After they ended economic activity, we'll just leave it at that and won't get too far into it, that caused not only going from record low unemployment, a strong labor market, hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs, an economy that was functioning and actually doing very well under Trump. We went from January of 2 years ago to March of 2020, 22 million people unemployed. I write about in the Federalist how that caused labor shortages in key industries, energy prices to soar, inflation to skyrocket, and now it's rampant. And if the Federal Reserve doesn't raise interest rates, inflation will tank the stock market and the economy, which we're seeing now. And if they do raise interest rates, which they will, the economy, well, the stock market will tank and probably very likely take the economy with it. But here, hit subscribe to this channel right now. Subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel. I will have numerous segments today. It's starting, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Bitcoin is below 40,000. It's going to get to 10,000. I don't want that to happen, but that's what's taking place. Again, I don't have anything negative to say about Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, digital currencies. In terms of the philosophy behind them, I actually find the philosophy or the reason to invest in them appealing, intriguing, interesting, and The reason I'm saying that this is going to, the reason I'm saying it's going to get to 10,000 is because I think the Dow Jones will get to close to 20,000. I think it's going to be absolute turmoil and chaos. Hedge funds will probably go under like Archegos. $1 trillion in margin debt will cause a lot of problems. $10 trillion pumped into the economy by the Federal Reserve and Congress because of an apoplectic, hysterical, completely irrational response to you-know-what, caused all of these problems. And he was pushed by one political side. We don't have to get into that right now. And then President Biden made it far more difficult to extract fossil fuels with his policies because he wanted to focus on climate change right after Democrats tanked the economy. That caused record highs in prices in oil, gas, and coal. You might see oil at over $100 per barrel. You could possibly see it if Russia invades Ukraine, and if, God forbid, that happens and China invades Taiwan or other geopolitical nightmares, you could see oil at $200 per barrel, and that would tank the global economy. Again, these are scenarios that are possible. The stock market crash we're seeing, even if it goes up today, which it could, I don't think it's going to, but it could. This is the beginning of a stock market crash. The Dow Jones, NASDAQ's going to take a huge hit. S&P will take a huge hit, according to Jeremy Grantham. Everything will. The housing market's going to tank also, and the bond market will probably tank because when interest rates go up, that's going to affect everything. Now, hit subscribe to this channel, to my new Patreons. Thank you. If you want to support my work, my Patreon is below. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are about to retire, I don't believe you have any business being in the stock market. I think liquidity and cash in your savings is far more important than being in a market that's we're seeing is going to tank. But Bitcoin getting to 38,000, below 40,000, it's going to, if you just look at the 5-year chart, the last time it was at around 10,000 was September of 2020, okay? If you look at the volatility of not only Bitcoin, but its relation to how the stock market does, when the stock market goes down and crashes, which is what we're seeing right now, the appetite for speculation isn't going to be there. People aren't going to want to speculate. And very large investors who've invested in Bitcoin are going to get out. Very likely also because they know they can get back in when it goes down. That's going to hurt the average investor. Again, I'm trying to look at things from a macro viewpoint and from a bird's eye perspective. The price of Bitcoin or any digital currency, because they're all going down right now, is tied to the willingness of people to invest in speculative investments. Now, a lot of people don't view Bitcoin as speculative. They believe it's like better than gold, but it is very speculative, and it's tied to the stock market. And the stock market is tanking directly because of the policies of one political party. Read my Federalist article below in the pinned comment. I'll be back today doing numerous segments on this channel and on the Stock Market Crash channel. I'll have a live stream tonight, probably by around 8 p.m. or so. Maybe 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Pacific. So be here for the live stream tonight. I have been telling you, ladies and gentlemen, if you watch this channel, and I know that this is not that interesting for a lot of people because it's not, most people don't understand the catastrophe we're heading towards. We're all on the Titanic because Democrats, media, the smartest people in the room steered us and are steering us still towards an iceberg, a financial iceberg. And it's only going to get worse. Make sure you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months of savings left. If you've made money in the market, take some money off your if you've made profit, take some money off the table and make sure you have savings if, God forbid, things get very bad, and I believe they will. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been telling you this for a long time. Watch the playlist on my stock market crash prediction and analysis for the past 5-6 months. I wrote my article in the Federalist in October. Read that. That's below. Hit subscribe to this channel. I believe if the Nasdaq's going to get close to 20,000, that means that Bitcoin's going to get to 10,000, maybe even below 10,000. And if you didn't hear that anywhere and you heard it here first, remember that I'm telling everybody, and I don't want it to happen, but unfortunately I believe it will. And I respect people who do invest in Bitcoin. There's no malice at all in me telling people this. It's just that you look at inflation, that's runaway inflation, energy costs are through the roof. It's only going to get worse. Then you factor in geopolitical concerns and unforeseen events. I mean, this is the worst time in the past 20 years, 30 years, 40 years to invest. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now to this channel. Thank you.